What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. It's getting real, guys. It is getting real.
See what you did? Oh no, you big dumb.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I see what I'm saying. I thought
that's what, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Listen, I couldn't resist. When I saw the news that one of the defendant's attorneys has countersued on behalf of the defendant, Maurice Scott, and OWN Network for now, because Carlos King and Kingdom Reign Entertainment has not been named thus far, but I believe it's possible that they could be named. And the reason I say that is the network houses the show, but ultimately Maurice Scott works for Kingdom Reign Entertainment. He doesn't work for OWN Network. The show is on OWN Network. You know what I mean? But it's not shocking to me that this happened. And I don't talk a whole lot about my legal background, but I was a legal assistant for 12 years. And although I'm not in the legal field anymore, I definitely still have my legal acumen. I just don't really go there a lot because, to be honest with you, it wasn't something that I enjoyed. But I digress. When I heard about Maurice filing a lawsuit, even though I talked about it just a little bit, didn't go into any details with it or whatever, I really did feel that this was something that was ultimately going to happen. And it's funny to me because I talked about his brother, Marsauscott, and how pride comes before fall and pride comes before destruction. And who knew that I was going to be talking about his brother in that same vein? Because listen, all of this could have been avoided if he had just laid his pride to the side, put his ego in his back pocket, and brushed off the situation. Sure, send a cease and desist, which he didn't do. He never sent a cease and desist letter through legal counsel or even through himself because he wants to act as if he is the best attorney around. I mean, he did a video where he said, I'm a very great attorney. I'm good at what I do. Well, it looks like there's another attorney that just might be just a smidge better than what he is and sounds like has a whole heck of a lot more experience than he does. Because let me tell you, when Trending at some point broke down the pleading, the counterclaim, what struck me, and I knew it. Listen, she knows what. I'm saying she. I don't know if the attorney is a she or a he, so that's just what I said. But what I caught, what struck me, because a jury trial is requested, because the attorney knows exactly what they're doing. What they're doing is they are making sure that the attorney is showcasing their client as a female victim who has been bullied by a man, and also an African American woman. Now, some people might say, oh, that person's playing the race card or whatever. But listen, Maurice has not shown himself as a likable character to many. And as much as Marceau likes to act like, oh, F them millimeters, we don't need them, we don't like them, I can't stand them, I F and hate them. You need those ratings and you need those views. And even though I'm not a millimeter, I refused to watch the show. I took it off of my DVR so it would not record it. I will support the content creators that I have been following, because there's more than a few of them. I don't watch everybody, but the ones that I have watched, the ones that I follow on Instagram, I'll continue to support them. And I have YouTube TV, so I have the OWN network as an app. I can watch the show later, much later, and it won't count as a view. It won't count in their ratings. So, I definitely believe that the attorney knows what they're doing, and it's a power play. It's a power play to either see this thing through to the end, to either get a huge settlement or to go through to a trial and have a jury that is going to see Maurice Scott, who a lot of people didn't know anything about, but he went viral for seeming, and a lot of people seeing him as an unlikable person who was uncaring, that was selfish to speak about his sexual desires and quote-unquote needs. Like he said, I need sex, over the care, over the health of his wife who was dealing with cancer. There is nothing that Kimmy could say in any interview to backtrack it, to try to make it like, oh, I wanted it too. I never want to go without sex a day of my life, even if I'm going through chemo, radiation, and surgery. Juries are going to see him as a very unlikable character. They're going to see him as a mean, bully attorney, which a lot of people don't like attorneys, okay? A lot of people see attorneys as unlikable characters. There's that old joke from many, many years ago. What do you call 1,000 attorneys on a sinking ship? A good start. A lot of people don't like attorneys in real life. So to see this man who is an attorney, who sits on a video, didn't specifically call anyone's name, but was very vague, to act as if people should be afraid of him, putting on the ego, demanding an apology, and the videos be taken down. The videos were taken down, but because they didn't issue an apology, and two, he never sent an official cease and desist letter to these people. So who exactly was he talking to, right? Who exactly was he talking to? He never sent anything official. He goes to messy Carlos King to, what attorney gets legal advice from a messy queen that loves drama? That wasn't a smart move. But again, I didn't really go into all of those details about that because I don't really put on my legal hat a lot when it comes to me sharing commentary, because I am a content commentator and I just share my thoughts and views on content that's already out there. I'm not trying to create it. I appreciate those who have the time and the energy to put into curating content to create a video or a podcast. Cool, do that. But I just didn't feel like talking about it because I thought it was stupid, really. I really didn't think that it was smart, but listen, he chose to take legal advice from a messy queen that he's employed by. But being the attorney, he never sent these people an official cease and desist letter. Even if he didn't know their real names, he could have found their email addresses on their YouTube channels, and because you can send a cease and desist letter via email. He chose to sit and do a video so that he could get views, so that he can showcase his bravado, if you will, and to make people shake in their boots and be afraid. And again, looking as if he is bullying women. And that's what the attorney that filed the counterclaim on behalf of the defendant that goes by the name and the moniker Black Titanic has done. This attorney has, and the other thing that I caught, the attorney said on a multitude of occasions, the plaintiff that pretty much feels he is a celebrity, the so-called celebrity, because he's not. None of these people are celebrities, if we want to be honest with it, you know. They're reality TV personalities at best, but you're not a celebrity. And so to hear that phrase in the counterclaim through and through, I definitely saw it as a strategy. Someone that feels more highly of themselves than they ought to think. Like I said, pride comes before a fall. And these people don't have it like that. For him to be coming after them in such an aggressive way, the defamation thing has always been laughable to me, because I always feel that since the Cardi B, Tasha K lawsuit situation, that everybody wants to harp on that defamation of character. How were you injured in any way? Everybody at some point has a lie spoken about them. Everybody. Do we like it? Absolutely not. But do you know how jammed-packed the courts would be if everybody took somebody to court that said a lie about them? Defamation of character is not just supposed to be, this person says something about me that's not true. It's also supposed to be about monetarily, how did it damage you? How did this affect you in any way? Did it cause you to lose out on jobs and projects? Can you prove that as well? You can't just come in there and say, yeah, this person damaged my character and now it caused me money. Okay, show us the proof of that. And I'm not going into the Cardi B and Tasha K situation, because that's a whole other thing. But my point in what I'm saying is that, what do these people say and do that caused him any monetary damage? It hurt his pride and his ego. That's about it. And it's just stupid that he didn't go the route of sending a cease and desist letter to these people, but then to demand an apology. And that was spoken about in the counterclaim as well. You can't legally force someone to issue you a public apology. Like, I want a public apology, and I'm giving you until whatever to do it. Who are you? Like, who are you? You know, the former president is going through a trial right now. He has been found in contempt of court. They fined him money, which he'll probably never pay, but they can't make him and force him to get up in front of the cameras outside of the courthouse and issue a public apology. It's ridiculous. And people who try to force apologies that people don't even mean are foolish anyway. Because the only apology that even means something is those that are not forced. So for him to want these people that he decided to sue, to impact harm upon them, to have them go through stress and, yeah, I'm going to make you pay for talking about me. Like, it's all about ego and bravado. It has nothing to do with how it damaged him. Because most people don't care. I don't care about Maurice. I can guarantee you that anyone who doesn't watch the show still doesn't know who he is. None of these people, the millions that don't watch the show, unlike what Marceau said, the millions who watch it, millions of people don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's be honest. Like they say, stop the cap. Stop the cap. Millions of people do not watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's bull. Millions of people don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, so there are millions of people who still don't know who a Maurice Scott is. And when you put in Google Maurice Scott, he's not the first person that pulls up. Now, you put in Love and Marriage Huntsville, then we're talking about something else. But I'm just saying, the ego that he had to go this route to sue these people because they were talking about him and saying things that he didn't like is just ridiculous. And now he's got a $5 million counterclaim on his hand, as well as the OWN network. Listen, like I said, guys, pride comes before a fall. Do you really think that the OWN network is going to see this show as something that they want to continue to have, as something that they want to deal with on a continued basis? This is surely going to push it closer towards its demise. And that's it. They're going to see this as more of a liability than an asset. And at this point in time, it really is. You have a monster who has been on this show, which is the main reason why I said I'm not going to give this show any ratings. You have a monster who is on this show still, who has been on the show being terrible to his now ex-wife and mother of his 4 children, and they see this as entertainment. And now they still have him on the show after being arrested for something that is a criminal offense. Melody does not have that type of pull with the sheriff's department, the police department, whatever it is down there with the county to make them go and arrest this man because he said something in a text message that isn't a crime. If it was a crime, that was what got him locked up, period. And they still have him on the show to tear her down. I didn't watch the episode, so I don't know what happened. When I get a chance to check out the blogs of the people that do watch it, I'll see what they have to say. But this show is a liability. It really does not need to continue to move forward. And so what will be the ultimate outcome of this? I don't know. I don't. But it sounds like the attorney for the defendant is ready to play ball. It's like, I got time today. You wanted to start it? I'll go bigger. You like it? I love it. You want to sue these people? I got my client, and here's what I got for her. A counterclaim for $5 million. We're putting a number and a name on it. And the name is a so-called celebrity who has an ego, who wanted to sue an old woman. That's what it's looking like. Who wanted to sue an old woman who shared information that may or may not have been accurate, because she shared information, I guess, because listen, I don't watch her, but what I'm saying is she shared information that I believe she thought was legitimate about him. And he's saying things in his complaint that these bloggers are talking about things that is not on the show. There's nothing in the rule books of being a content creator that says that you can only talk about something when it comes to a person based on what came on in an episode. I don't watch her, but from my knowledge, I don't think she is a reviewer of the episodes. There's a lot of people who review television shows, movies, different things like that, and they're doing like a recap and a review. But I don't think that's what she was doing. I think she was just sharing content about people that's on the show. Now, was it favorable to him? No. But I don't also see where everything has to be favorable about him. And that's what comes with someone that has an ego like that. They feel like if it's not favorable to them, then they don't want anybody talking about it. But why I felt like this was a mistake in the beginning was, listen, let's use an example. Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright has been out on social media for some time now, for at least the last couple of years, doing these videos, doing these interviews. The only person, there's only one person that came out to say that they were going to be suing, and then they backtracked because they're like, well, she ain't got nothing to go after. But the only person that came out to say that they were going to be suing Jaguar Wright was Claudia Jordan. Jaguar Wright has said things about very big-time names. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Diddy, just to name a few. And even going down that list, none of these people have come out, most of them haven't even come out to say anything, let alone come out to say that I'm suing, or that they just went ahead and filed a lawsuit against her and had her served with documents. Now, if they tried to, they probably couldn't find her. I'm just joking. But my point in that is Jaguar Wright has said some very outlandish things, okay? I talked about her a little bit before. Jaguar Wright, she's a great storyteller. She'll like reel you in. Is everything she's saying true? I don't believe everything she says is true. Now, there may be some things that has some truth to it. I don't know, but I don't believe everything that she says is true. I just believe she's a great storyteller. And because it's salacious, people want to believe it. Because people love to believe things that are salacious and whatever about people that they feel are big celebrities and big time. And it's like, yeah, I knew they weren't about nothing. But people like that type of stuff. Unless you're like a true blue fan of these people that she's talking about, you may believe it. The ones that are true blue fans, they're not going to believe what she says. But these people are not out here suing her for what she's saying. And these people are very well known. They don't even know who Maurice Scott is, okay? But they're not out here filing lawsuits and doing videos responding to Jaguar Wright. And the few that have made comments, like recently, Christopher Williams said, Jaguar, Wright, she's a effing crackhead or something like that, along the lines of what he said about her. But that was just recently. She's been talking about Christopher Williams for a couple of years now. But Maurice, he couldn't take a little old woman on YouTube saying something about his alleged criminal background. And the other one too, the other blogger that he sued. So just let it go. But they took the videos down, and he still filed a lawsuit against them because they didn't issue a public apology. He really thinks more highly of himself than he ought to think. So that's why I was just laughing when the complaint, or the counterclaim, I should say, was being read out loud, because this is absolutely true about him. So-called celebrity, and she's painting him in the light of being a bully against women, especially an older African-American woman. I don't believe it's going to bode well for him, but I also don't believe that it's going to bode well for the show. I believe the network is going to say, listen, we don't want to have anything to do with this. Their attorneys are probably going to respond to it to ask to be dismissed from this counterclaim. I don't know if it will happen or not, but I definitely see that as being the next step of them requesting to be dismissed from it. I also see possibly Carlos King and Kingdom Reign being added to it. I'm also surprised that they weren't already, because Maurice admitted in the initial video that he did, that he consulted with his boss, Carlos King, and Carlos said, request that they take the videos down first. But he also added to it to demand a public apology. A public apology for what? Nobody knows you like that. Most people don't know Maurice Scott, and no knock to anyone, but a whole lot less people know about the people that he's suing. What he's actually doing is bringing more attention to them. So this just was not a good look for him. I didn't think it was from the very beginning. But here we go. He wanted it, and that attorney that's representing that defendant is giving it to him in every which way. And I'm here for it. It's entertaining for me. So listen, this is going to be my entertainment. Love and Marriage Huntsville, it can kick rocks, but I just am not surprised by this move. I felt like if, not so much the defendants, but if the defendants got great legal counsel, they would see the opportunity here to file a counterclaim, because once you are served and you have an attorney, every state is different. Some states you have 30 days. Some states you have 20 or 25. I believe Florida's like 20 days, something like that. But you have a short period of time, because 30 days really isn't a long time. Once you are served, you have to get counsel to respond. And if you don't get counsel to respond, you can just file an answer just to get that in, so that you don't have a default judgment issued against you. But filing the counterclaim is what you have to do in that short period of time as well, because if you don't, then you have to file an actual complaint, meaning that's a whole new lawsuit. But when someone sues first, filing a counterclaim, there's no cost to that. Now, of course, you have to pay your attorneys, and you have the other costs that come after the fact. But my point is, this attorney saw this as an opportunity because he did so many things that were foolish. And for him to be connected to a big-time network like the Oprah Winfrey Network, even though she's only like, a 2-3% shareholder at this point, or 2-3% ownership at this point, it's mainly held by the Discovery Network and Discovery channels. They saw the opportunity because, let's be clear, Maurice Scott is not a millionaire, okay? This is more so holding the people that he is connected to accountable for his actions, because he's not, in my personal opinion, a smart attorney. I didn't feel that this was a good move. It wasn't a smart move. But suing him for $5 million solely, ridiculous. Yeah, you could, possibly win and get the judgment against him, but he doesn't have $5 million, but he and his brother have matching lawsuits right now, because is it Marceau and his wife, aren't they going through litigation? A $5 million counterclaim was filed against them. Look at that. They sued Zen Gardens, a company that they were doing business with for construction, for non-payment for some work, and then that company counterclaimed for $50 million. And now Maurice, he files a lawsuit against some little old YouTubers, and then one of them so far, because listen, it could be another one to come, I don't know. One of them at this point has an attorney that has filed a $5 million counterclaim on their behalf at this point. But again, not so much because he is Maurice Scott, but it's because he is Maurice Scott that is on a show that's on their own network. So this attorney saw this as an opportunity, poked the holes in the complaint that was filed, and not just in the complaint that was filed, but how everything was grossly done prior to the lawsuit being filed and in the process of filing, and some things that were attempted to be done allegedly with subpoenas and things like that. So this attorney saw that opportunity, rubbed those palms together, and said, yeah, you know what? I think we got a case here. Let's just go ahead and see. And we definitely will be requesting a jury trial, because the jury needs to see the type of man that this is, that would waste his time to file a lawsuit against these little old YouTubers that are doing commentary that it's not like they're getting millions of views. Like, still, a lot of people don't know who Maurice Scott is. Maurice went viral for a short period of time because of the things that he said, not because of the things that these YouTubers said about him. Because there were people doing content about him that never watches reality TV and definitely has never watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? But because that clip of that so-called interview that he did on Carlos's messy podcast, and how he talks about he needs sex in light of his wife going through cancer, that's not going to make him look favorable in the eyes of the jury or a judge, period. So I just am like, this is going to be entertaining. I never wish harm on anyone, but it's not even about wishing harm on anyone. It's about your own actions. And you plant seeds, you reap a harvest. And pride definitely comes before a fall. I just said that yesterday about his brother, and here we go. Those same words apply to him. And I'm here for it. I'm here to watch and see what happens, like Andy Cohen says on Bravo. But Maurice Scott is not a millionaire. In my personal opinion, I don't think a millionaire would be working on their own network for, I'll say maybe he makes $3,000 to $5,000. Maybe. But he's definitely not making, 6 figures an episode. Definitely not. This is not Bravo. And even Bravo isn't even doing that anymore when it comes to these newer shows. So with that being said, I'll probably come back and talk about more as more comes out. I might do my own little legal breakdown when I get a chance to review the complaint myself. I know Trending at some point already broke it down, but like I said, I was a legal assistant for 12 years. I just don't really get into that type of stuff anymore because it's a headache. I hated it when I was in it, and I got to the point where it's like, I need to be done with this. And I manifested myself and prayed myself out of that field a long time ago. And I have been in the wellness and beauty industry for going on, actually, it's been more than 16 years. I started in the industry in 2006. But one of my current businesses I've been owning since 2008 in the beauty industry. So, yeah, I might do that. You let me know if you would like me to do that in the comment section. But guys, let me know your thoughts about all of this. Thanks so much for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.